everybody, it's Lori with Main Street Gardener, and today it's warm in the 50s, but it's a little overcast. I have been slowly working on sections of the garden, getting them ready for the burst of spring that is surely to come in the next few weeks in March. So today I wanted to show you a few specific plants of how I'm going to take care of them and address them with my winter cleanup. So first, of course, this beautiful grass. This is a type of totem pole type perennial grass, and it has just been so beautiful. And I love these seed pods. I'm actually going to use my 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐍𝐄𝐂𝐓 knife, and I'm just going to cut those. And I think I'm going to save some of these for a dried container. They are just beautiful. The second plant that I'm going to address today is these are sunshine ligustrums. So normally they are huge, beautiful, yellow, but of course they succumb to winter. And if you need to do any pruning on the sunshine ligustrum, you want to do it in early winter before it starts to regrowth. You can always shape it up during the season. Now these are brand new from last year, and they grew a couple, probably at least a foot. So what I'm going to do today is just shape them just a little bit. I don't need to do a lot. Okay, the next thing I want to address is right here on the ground, and it's this mess, and that is lamb's ear. So lamb's ear is so beautiful throughout the season, but I think it's the ugliest plant in winter. And it's just really not any easy way around it. If you know of an easy way to hide it in the winter without snow, let me know. So underneath this, there are beautiful roots that are going to bring forth some new plants. Got a lot of motorcycles today. What I want to do is just get it all cleaned up so that it is ready. Now I have some other grasses over here that I may go ahead and trim as well. They've been just beautiful 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐓 through the winter. Now this is a cascading pink. It's a beautiful butterfly bush, but it's not time to prune those yet. I like to wait on my butterfly bushes until you start to see green underneath, and then you can start kind of shaping it up. Now, some people cut them back earlier. I don't know that there's a right or wrong. You have to do what works best for you in your garden. So I'm going to leave that one today. Then I'm going to rake up this area because I do want to come back through, and I want to add some compost and then some mulch to this area. So this flower bed was brand new last year, and I'll put pictures on the screen. I think it turned out beautiful. So when we built this garden, we had two areas that were for raised bed for me to do cut flowers, my dahlias, all of those things. And I loved it for the first 2 years, but there was no winter interest. There was it just was messy throughout the season, and it's a really tight space for raised beds. So we took it out. We started with this side, and then we moved to this one over here on the other side of me in the fall. So everything in here was a first year garden, and it just did great. It's a mix of lots of things for interest. So a lot of different colors and textures with some pinks, and that's a blue chiffon, the yellow. I really just wanted to create a nice natural border. That is over there is a red bark, a 9 bark. And so it's just got a lot of colors and some roses. I think it just came together beautiful. So let's get started cleaning up. I'm going to tackle the grass first. And to do that, I'm going to actually use a 𝐂𝐎𝐍𝐶𝐄𝐓 knife today. I found this one the other day cleaning up. This is my all-time favorite. This one is from Bare Bones, and you can see how worn it is. I love it. It works great to cut things, to dig. I mean, it's just an all-around great tool in the garden. So to finish these off, I'm just going to use the trimmer. It makes it so easy with the grasses. I didn't want to use it initially because I wanted to kind of cut these, but I probably could have used this as well. All right, and that is it. So I'm going to save these beauties. Okay, so now I'm going to do these sunshine ligustrums, and I don't need the tag anymore. I do want to keep the backside contained because my neighbor's yard is right here. So I am going to do that, but otherwise I really don't need to do a lot on these. So I'm going to come around, and there's some branches in the back that are just a little bit taller, and I'm going to take those out again because I'm trying to manage. We have a very narrow space and our neighbor has grass here, so I just want to manage that. And this guy's a little bit bigger. I don't necessarily need these to match, but I don't know why this one grew more. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a few snips, but that's all we really need to do with these. I do see lots of tulips coming up, which is really exciting. So here is my number 3 plant that I'm going to clean up today. It is these lamb's ear, and boy, they are just a mess. So I'm just going to get after it. There is green growth underneath, and a lot of times you can just kind of pull it, and a lot of this old underneath will start coming out. I'm going to show you though what you don't want to do. Now this was one plant, I'm just going to start trimming, that I actually divided last year, and I got 3 incredible plants out of it. So this year I may even divide this one. It's just done so good. You can see there's new growth down here, which is great. And I think some people wait until they see all the new growth, and then, so this is an entire, it's got an entire plant right here. And it is very thick and woody, but I am actually going to take all of that out. Now it may, I don't know if it would root or not, but I really need to get some air down here and get it a little cleaned up and a little more manageable. Look at all the new growth under there. I'm so excited. All right, so in a few weeks, it is going to look beautiful, and you can see all of this leftover that I was able to pull out, and there's a pile there. So I'm going to clean this one up, and then I'll get started on the others and show you how they look in the end. It's funny because a lot of people may think that this plant is not worth it, but I can promise you the beauty it brings all year long. I think it's worth a little bit of mess and a little mush, because it really is beautiful and it fills a space. This is one of my favorite little garden rakes. So it's just a little small one. This was super cheap. So this rake does a great job of just kind of sloughing off that old stuff, exposing what's underneath. So now that I've raked off the first bit of dead stuff from this lamb's ear, now I'm just going to go in with the trimmers. Now this is a plant that you can't just take a hedge trimmer or another type of trimmer and just whack it. So if you have garden help, gardeners that come to your property, make sure that they don't just kind of weed whack this. It would not be good for the plant. So after you do your initial cleanup, you can actually just take your hands. Beautiful. There's already green poking through. Now, if you want to divide your lamb's ear, you literally can dig it up and split it in two. It's not going to look very pretty at first, but I promise that it will come out. I'll show you how this looked on the screen. It was just beautiful all season. I think this is one of those strange plants that you may not, if it's new to you, you may not know exactly what to do with it after the winter.
So it took a couple hours to get this bed all cleaned up, but it is now ready for spring. It's ready for compost. It's ready for some mulch, and it is going to be beautiful again this year. I do have some things I need to transplant and move around, but we'll get to that another day. Thanks so much for watching.